outside your door, or the wild shit you see. Oh yeah, yeah. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it, yeah. Talk about it, talk about it. Shit been getting crazy round here, nigga. Nah, talk about it, yeah. All these dope fiends and these dead bodies. Nah, talk about it.
I'd like to welcome you to the World Motherfuckers Game Podcast in the
I ain't done that in a long time.
I'd like to welcome you guys to another episode of How It Goes a Podcast. Today, I don't know what the vibes are. Oh, the vibes are post-Mexico vibes. At least for me. Oliver, my guy.
The blood.
I miss you, Oliver.
Wow.
That's my guy. I miss Oliver. Mexico's great vibes. I came back from Mexico for a new mindset. The mindset is that nothing is real. Nothing exists. Everything is free-flowing. Do what you want to do, kids. Nothing matters. That's all I really got. I don't why it took Mexico. I don't know, but it did.
May I ask why? Or how you come to this?
I feel as though when in Mexico, I realized that like all the
When in
things.
Mexico.
I'm just saying when I was there.
Is that a movie?
Probably.
No, Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
I feel as though when I was there, I realized things like all the things with like money, for example, like trying to exchange pesos for dollars, shit like that, dollars, pesos. It's just like it's not real, bro. It's just like what makes that dollar? It's all just shit that people have just decided on. And it doesn't really matter when you really, really think about it. It's just like, what do you want to do? It's like nothing is everything is the same. Everything is different. It's all just good vibes, bro. Like, life is about good vibes. I truly and wholeheartedly believe that. Life is about good vibes. Nothing more, nothing less. Good vibes.
I dig that.
If you have good vibes, if you bring good vibes to life, at the minimum, life will return good vibes. It may not return success. It may not return happiness. It may not return monetary stuff. But if you put out good vibes, life will return good vibes. I feel like Mexico put all that into perspective. So shout out to Playa, Carmen. I love it. I'll be back soon. I'm really like I wasn't
Each time say you trying to go in September. I should have my life together by then.
It just feels though when I was there, everybody was just chilling, everybody was just vibing. Like I felt good. It felt good. Like it's only like 4 hours away too. It's not that long of a plane ride. It takes longer to get to LA.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, isn't that crazy when you really think about it?
Going to another country quicker than going somewhere in our own country.
Also, it's just like, oh, so yeah, fuck TSA in Charlotte, or fuck that dumbass security guard. All right, so it's hot as shit. When we were leaving Playa because tropics, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're leaving, I had on a hoodie, I had a Hazy Dogs hoodie and some shorts, because it's like the planes are cold.
Mm-hmm.
So I get on the plane, and the plane isn't that cold, but it's kind of, it's kind of cold, but it's still kind of muggy. And our mind is hot as shit, like at the airport when we're waiting for the plane. So I get on the plane, whatever. And before we're about to land, I have a layover in Charlotte before I get to DCA. When I have a connecting flight, and I have to make sure that I get to my flight before I miss it. So I'm running, I'm running through the jungle. So I get to the part, and I also like got some shit from duty line, so I gotta like go put the shit, like read. It's a lot. I'm doing a lot. So I'm like running, I'm sweating, I get to the joint, and the dude is like, he look at my passport and shit, he like, where you coming from? I'm like, Playa. He's like, why are you sweating? I'm like, because it's hot. He's like, and I was just on the plane. He was like, well, like, why are you sweating like that? He was like, it's humid in Playa del Carmen. I was like, it's hot. I was just on a plane. It's cold. I'm running.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, like, what?
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
want a hoodie.
he's like,
I'm pretty sure it's hot in Charlotte.
he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I'm like, bro, give my shit a move, bro. Keep running out. I get to the joint. Everything's chill because my plane is fucking delayed by like 15, 20 minutes. So I did all that running for nothing. And that bitch ass fucking TSA agent. You know who you are.
You're mad because he treated you like a suspicious person?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, it's hot as fuck.
I understand.
Like, what are you talking about?
What
Like,
was his ethnicity?
he was white.
Okay.
Of course, he's a white man. Like,
Of course.
all to say that.
Because I'm black coming from Mexico. You believe I'm a mule.
Yeah, like I was like, bro, if you want to say like I'm doing that, like just say it.
I'd
Like,
much rather you ask me then.
I don't even care. I just want you to be wrong, and then I could just smack your dumb ass for a lawsuit, and then everybody wins. So like, hey, but like you just want to be. It's like literally hot as shit. I'm on this plane. Like this lady literally passed out on our plane as we were landing.
That's vicious.
Off some like emergency. Everybody was like, and then she was just like, "Oh no, I'm just too hot." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm like, yo, it is hot as fuck on this plane. I feel you, shorty." And we just came back from a hot as fuck place.
Flying to another hot as fuck
You
place.
probably drinking the water when you shouldn't have.
Drinking water.
Your shit is all fucked up. Also, the drugs in Mexico, like not the American drugs, but the Mexican drugs. If you know, you know.
This nigga said the Mexican drugs.
Keeping 100 with my people. What other good vibes are in Mexico? The Anejo, quality tequila. Fucks with that, guys.
You talking about like, that's just dark tequila.
Yeah, but like, it's like two. It's like a one that's a little lighter, and then the one that's even darker than that.
Yeah, you got that Neho, and then you got the Neho Gold, I believe.
You want the one that's even darker.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
apparently they age tequila as well.
Yeah.
So you want like the more aged tequila. So that's that. What other good vibes are in Mexico? I don't know. I feel like Mexico's overall quality vibes. Playa del Carmen as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if it's up there with Belize. Belize is up there. To be fair, I didn't get active in the city in Belize. I was chilling with chilling on the resort. So, that was the wild thing I did in Mexico. I was in a fucking Mexican taxi by myself.
I'm glad you got there, because I was going to bring it up.
Alright, so let me tell you what happened, Katie. So we left
This
dinner.
nigga's sick,
We
bro.
left dinner
This
on
nigga's sick.
like Friday night. We randomly a Jamaican spot in Mexico. It was bomb as fuck. It's very very wild.
Sounds very lit.
Very lit though, right? I'll show you the Instagram. So we were lit. Oliver comes through with the fun stuff and it's like Also like I know where the functions at. Like I know So I'm like, I remind you, it's like 30 of us together in Mexico, all from the States, who we all came together. So I was checking with my man D Tuck. Shout out D Tuck, legend. Fucks with it. Shout out Time Legend. So me and D Tuck basically we locked in this weekend. But we like when I'm riding out with D Tuck. For some reason, Oliver pulls up and I'm just like, he pulls up with Shawty with one of the homegirls who we know him through, and she hops on his motorcycle and she's like, "Come on, we about to go." So I'm like, fuck it. So where can I go? Because I'm like, I can't ride with 3 people on this motorcycle.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So they're like,
I mean, you could in Mexico.
So they were like, fuck it. They were like, he was like, just get in the taxi and follow me and tell them follow me. So me and my stupid 5 phrases I know in Spanish this weekend. Like I learned how to say ATM. I don't even know if I can still remember how to say it. Something automatico. That's the last thing I remember. So I just hop in the first taxi. And then we boom. So we ride out, and I end up getting to the spot before them. So I'm just like literally on the street in Mexico. And I'm kind of looking around, and this dude pulls up to me and is like, prostitutes?
Wow.
And he starts going through his phone and just like showing me pictures. And I'm like, I'm good, fam. I'm like, no, I'm good, fam. He's like, no, I was like,
They clean.
This other dude is like,
Hey, KD, chill
this
out.
other dude is like, yo, night's over, because they still got curfew over there. Other dude's like, night's over, It's about like, I want to say like 10:15, 10:30ish. Where I'm like, shit's supposed to end at like 11. So I'm like, nah, I can't be over. It might have been a little bit earlier. It might be like 10 exactly. I'm like, So for some reason, I waited like 5 to 10 minutes, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start walking. So I start walking up like, I'm at the bottom of the street, and then I hear a bunch of music and shit. So I'm like, I'm gonna walk up to where the music and shit is playing. So I start walking up, and I hear someone, Charles. I'm like, look who it is, Oliver. I'm like, oh shit, it's Oliver. Like, what's good? I was like, yo, man, I'm just about to start walking. He's like, nah, come on. So boom. First thing I do is see a hookah spot. He like, we see black people. So I'm like, oh, this might be, my lit. They're like, oh, we closed,
Sick of Charles.
I'm like,
we see black people.
I'm like, all right, whatever. They like, but we still need a function for the day, next day, for Sunday. Yeah, for Sunday night. So we're like, boom, we set up a function there. We set up like a reservation there. We go up a little further up, and as we're going up, there's this spot literally called Tequila Barrel, and it's like on the main strip. So we're like, oh, we like look over, and I hear them playing like black people music, like legit. I forget what I heard first, but I heard something, and then I heard Little Baby. But I was just
I was about to say, I know they was playing Little Baby.
So
I
I was
knew
like,
they was going to say,
so
I knew
was
Little
like,
Baby was
what?
going to come up.
So I was like, what? So Oliver was like, oh yeah, I used to work here. I'm like, oh shit. He walked up to the front. They not trying to let niggas in. They like, nah, we about to close that. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, damn, Oliver, face card not legit no more, bro. It is what it is. I spoke too soon. Like 5 minutes later, they like, all right, come on in. Boom. I'm like, shit. So it's me, Oliver, and Shawty. Shout out Gifty. We in the joint. And we just start partying. Like, he go to the back, Oliver get like 2 shots of tequila and a beer. I take a shot, boom, I drink my beer. And then they started playing the Burna Boy randomly. And then me and the white Mexican cousins in the back is just getting it. Like, there's a great
White
video.
Mexican cousins.
It's a great video where like I'm literally leading the pack of the white cousins. I'm like,
I did see that video.
and as I move, they move. It's really great vibes. So we do all that. Boom.
Just got Charles crossing racial barriers.
Having the time.
Killing racism one city at a time.
What international city at a time, buddy? So we're just getting it in. Having the time of my life. So then I leave again, and they were like, all right, we gotta get back to the Airbnb. At this point, no one else from the group is with us. It's just us 3 still, though. Like, me, Giphy, and Oliver. Gallivanting through these streets. So I'm like, all right, I walk back down to where I started. I'm like, okay, I kind of know where I'm at now. I'm like, I got a feel, I think, right? Can't really find a taxi for a few minutes. Then I end up getting a taxi. Oliver's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I know where I'm going. Color 44 and First Ave. He like, yeah. I'm like, bet. I told the dude, Color 44 First Ave. He's like, all right. I said, all right. Guess we at the joint, boom. I'm like, yo, wait, stop, I need money. I'm like, Cajara Automatico. He like, huh? I'm like, Cajara Automatico. He like, sí. Do. I'm like, sí. So I'm like, I'm assuming he said like the closest one. That's what I assumed he said.
Isn't that pause is like that little Hail Mary prayer? Like,
what?
we here, bro.
Charles, you have an iPhone. Why you just pull out Google Translate?
I was in the moment. I'm drunk as fuck at this point, bro. So I'm like, fuck it. So he like does a U-turn and just stops. I'm like, boom, and I look to my right.
ATM.
I'm like, all right, bet. I get out. It just shits in Spanish. Like straight Spanish, like no press for English, just straight, and they only give it out pesos. So now I'm doing conversion. I'm looking at my conversion, and I'm like, how much? Because he like the trip is $10, and like how many pesos? I'm like, I think that's 200 pesos. I don't know. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm gonna take out 1,500 pesos. It's like 1,500, 3,000, 9,000. I'm like, fuck. I do it to the point where I see it says like 46 American. I'm like, that's what I need. I need 46 American dollars. That works. That's what it says it's coming out, and it comes out in pesos. I'm like,
Fuck it.
fuck it. Get in the car. I'm like, 44 first. He like, boom, 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 drops me off, pay him. And then I'm like, I go into our Airbnb, and I'm like, yo, I was really just fucking out here. So at this point, not everybody has come back from the spot yet. So I'm chilling still, right? I'm chilling at the joint. We in a big ass Airbnb. I'll explain that a little bit later. Boom, boom. I'm on the other half of the second floor, and I'm just looking down, and I see like 25 people in my villa. So I'm like, what the fuck? I go down, and niggas is just turned up. Niggas is pulling out bottles of 42. Niggas is smoking cigars. I'm like, oh, yo, y'all niggas done turned the fuck shit up. I go back up to finish my J. I come back and everybody is gone. I go, what the fuck? I go back upstairs and then everybody is back up in like the party room. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
That's a big ass house.
Shit was wicked, bro. Very, very wicked. Very, very. But it was a lit ass party.
Good night.
The next night when we went back to Tequila, bro. These niggas brought white shawties back to the crib. It was ridiculous.
In Mexico?
Bro, white shawties from Cali and Vegas who were like, yo, we're in Mexico for the weekend, da da da. What a world. There was a random Costa Rican shawty who was in the mix.
I love that.
It was just so much.
Put that on wax.
It was crazy. Mexico was lit. Shout out to Mike B. Mike B had the great group. We went on excursions.
Happy belated birthday, brother.
We went on a whole excursion. You know, did dirtbag riding. People did some water stuff. I wasn't really fucking with that, you know.
They had you working out.
Bro, they had me working out at 10 o'clock in the morning. 4 stations, 30 seconds each. So we did pull-ups, 30 seconds. Burpees, 30 seconds. Push-ups, 30 seconds. And ab bicycles, 30 seconds. Three of these, 30 seconds, da-da-da.
We're still in Mexico.
The night after so this was after Friday night, after we had got blasted, and I was out here gallivanting the streets, not knowing whether my...
Workout, y'all kiss my ass.
You know what the best part of it? The next morning, I was roaming the streets by myself and went to breakfast by myself.
At this point, you were comfortable.
At that point, I was just like, this kind of like 5 to 10 block radius, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I get snatched up here, it is what it is. I was kind of like, hey, like at this point, like I'm just roaming these streets and like I know what I'm doing. Because when I first pulled up by myself and I put up to the Airbnb and nobody was there, and the first thing I did was like, shit. I was looked around. I was like, I got all this luggage. I was like, oh shit, it's a hotel. So I pulled up. I went to the hotel bar and just started drinking tequila. And then I ended up asking them could they hold my stuff. And then I just started walking around.
Real nigga.
Before anybody got there. And then they was like, oh, we here. And I was like, where y'all at? They're like, Airbnb. I was like, where they at? They're like, I was like, oh, that joint right here. It was like literally from like the main strip. So the whole weekend I was out here just like exploring, little door to explore in Mexico head ass. But I fucked with it. It was good vibes. And only thing I would say is I might go to Tulum, but I heard it's too like touristy and it's too expensive. Playa wasn't that expensive as far as I was concerned. Like we went to the club, we bought 7 bottles, 3 hookahs. I think we spent like $1,100.
That's all right.
I'd rather do what you did than go to the tourist spot. Like that's a good time.
For sure.
Like you need people like we have multiple people who have been there before and kind of knew the vibes. So like they could be like, all right, this is where we going for lunch. This is where we going for dinner. Da, da. So that's what I would say. Like just have enough Like, oh yeah, I know where I'm going, so you can go to what you need to do in peace. But outside of that, I fucks with it. Mexico's A1. Shout out to Mexico. Belize is A1. I maybe need to go to Honduras and see what that's about.
This chick mom about to go to Mexico on Monday.
I've heard good things about Honduras.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to just go see what.
I bet you have.
I want to see all the islands and see what all them like Central,
American.
Southern American. You know, I've been to Costa, but you know, I wouldn't mind Chile, Ecuador, all that. Do I have anything else? What was that doing in Mexico? A lot of good drugs. That's it. Anything else? Mexico.
How's the weed in Mexico?
Mexico weed is like 2012. Like they smoke in 2000. Like the weed, like we were smoking in like 2012. That's definitely the weed they're smoking. So like if you thought you were like smoking loud and it's probably like Reggie to you now, that's the type of weed they're smoking in Mexico. Like it's kind of green. It's not like dirt brown, but it's not like, you know, it's not like what you not like no runs or anything like that. But it's chill. Like you smoke it, you gonna get a little smack.
It's enough for a good time.
Yeah.
Do the job.
I would definitely say it's not for the good time. Well, that's what I would say. I would say like low key, and it's just the tequila. Like you going to drink tequila, so like
Yeah, I'm about to say you go to places like that to drink. You know,
yeah.
really
So
go
like and like low key, you know me, I got a weak stomach, and I'll be early. Did not Earl one time in Mexico and I was getting punished. Like I was when I tell you I was getting punished off the tequila.
You definitely were getting punished.
I bought Mike a bottle of tequila. I brought back home like 2 bottles of tequila. I bought Mike a bottle of the Henny White, and I brought back a Henny White. And we finished all them bottles, I think, except for like one. But it was, once again, there was like 20 to 30 people consistently with us on this trip. Like the last day, I saw like 5 people, and I was like, damn, this is the least amount of people I've seen this whole trip. Shit was crazy. And it was good vibes. Like nobody was doing too much. All them people, everybody was chilling. Like everybody was just kicking it, you know, talking here and there, smoking. Hey, I'm rolling up here. I'm drinking here. Oh, you want this? You want that? Really good vibes, bro. So shout out to the group. Good vibes all around. Niggas put them enjoy it. Really good people.
Dude.
I feel like it's a good time.
Any other good vibes from Mexico that I remember? No, I don't think so. I fuck with Mexico. I can't say it anymore. I fuck with Mexico. Like Mexico's good shit.
I love it for you, bro. I'm happy for you.
I don't know how much like I could really get with Mexico, like live there, but like could I make that like a vacation? Like I like remember I said like I can't stay nowhere more than 3 days. I think I could stay in Playa for like 2 weeks. I think I could legitimately be like, because I think you could do more stuff. Like you could do more stuff, and I don't think it'd cost you. So like, you could spend a week like going to the. Apparently, like, they got like an island that's not too far. People do that. Like you could do shit. So that was my shit. When you want to travel to, Mook?
I haven't thought about it.
Nowhere that just tickles your fancy.
Like out the country?
Not just anywhere. I want to go to Seattle. Seattle is the place that, like, low key, I want to go to more than any place in the world. Seattle.
What's it?
Well, I think it's like, to me, I like the climate, so I like the idea of, like, it's so serene. Like, everything is always calm, and I like the idea that it's, like, kind of foggy. It's like at a real, like, kind of, like, grayish, cloudish state. I kind of fucks with that. Also, I feel as though like things are fresh there, cause like from the weed to like the coffee, they're big on like brewing and shit like that. So I think like everything with there would be like a little bit more interesting. And also, one of my favorite seasons of Real World was Real World Seattle. You remember when my man smacked the white girl?
Now watch Real World.
Oh, very classic episodes. That's one of the few things as a child I probably should have been watching, but I was watching. So I definitely remember that season, and I've always had a fancy for Seattle because of that as well. Yeah.
Morocco, Mauritania.
Where's Montana?
Mauritania,
Yeah.
Africa.
Like where? Africa's a big place. I have no conceptual idea of where.
Northwest.
Oh, okay.
Ghana.
I want to go to Seychelles Islands.
I want to go there too.
Yeah.
But honestly, bro, I just want low key. I want to go on a mosque tour. I want to go to Africa and just go on a mosque tour.
That's dope.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that. Like I wonder, like when I went to those Inca pyramids and shit, I was like, or Mayan, I was like, I want to do more of this. Like that's why I said like I would probably want to go to Honduras, Guatemala, like see all the different ones and like
but in the States, Seattle stamp. I want to go to Denver.
Denver's good vibes.
Houston.
Houston's good vibes.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's good vibes.
And
Atlanta's good.
I like the Panhandle out of Florida.
Charlie was talking about like Key West and stuff.
Yeah.
That seems like
Key West down south though.
You try to go a little bit.
I'm trying to go like Daytona Beach area.
Okay.
Like I'm trying to go like Gulf of Mexico.
Interesting.
Part of Florida. Good time, good vibes.
Yeah,
Cheaper than Miami. Same experience.
Yeah, I want to see what like low key. I want to go to Alabama too. That's a very random state.
What part of Alabama, Charles?
I'm guessing the part that's more city. Like, also I heard Nebraska has really good beaches. This is something I've heard.
Really?
Shawty's family is from Denver, and one of her cousins was telling us how like people from Colorado travel to Nebraska because I think it's like 3 or 4 hours away, and they have like great beaches. So I would really want to try that out. Also, I want to go to Arizona because apparently that's the place to be. Arizona.
Shout out Kojo.
Like my sister used to live in Tempe, and I went there as a kid. And what I remember in particular was that it was a very like active town.
Mm-hmm.
So like I remember we went to like this play place, like it was like laser tag, arcade, indoor go-kart. It was all this shit.
Like the John Tyson birthday was at W.
Yeah. But this was like a legit joint in like the late '90s.
For sure.
Right? So it was fire. So I was like, that's what I remember about Tempe. I remember like, I went to an Arizona State game. I remember it was like, it seemed like it was very much so like a place where like people did stuff and there was stuff for every age group. Like if you were 20, you were out here in the party scene. If you're like a kid.
I'm trying to go to Arizona.
So like apparently Arizona's the place to be. So I want to go.
I also want to go to Brazil. I want to go to like the little dunes that they have where like the water rises up in the dunes like during the spring or summer. Like I want to go there and travel there and see that. That shit seems good.
Brazil's an interesting place to me because I feel as though like there's so many, it's so vast that like the same way I think you asked like what part of Alabama, I'd be like what part of Brazil are you trying to go to?
I would pull it up, but
Like
I
you trying to
damn
go
sure
to like
can't.
the Amazon, like you trying to be out there.
I wouldn't, man.
Yeah, because it's like outside of Rio, you never really hear people talk about
Yeah,
Brazil.
I mean,
that's for the favelas and shit like that.
the name escapes me from what I'm about to say.
It starts with a P.
A B,
Oh, it was like
Where all-
Palo.
where the black people are,
I think so.
where the Africans are.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting. I think I'm like, that's why I would want to go back to maybe PR. No, I want to go to Haiti because I've been to DR, but I want to see what the vibes. Because you know DR is like an actual tourist kind of destination. I wonder what the vibes in Haiti are. Like, are Haiti the same sort of like come and have fun vibes, or is it more like a cultural experience?
I think it's a cultural experience.
Cultural experience.
I'm pretty sure you can get lit in Haiti, but it's damn sure a cultural experience.
Yeah, I wonder, but you know, like, see, for DR, like, I feel as though like it's more. They broadcast it as more come get lit, and if you get the cultural experience that's with it, and I think that's where like Mexico is like 50-50, like it's literally like yo, you can come here to have fun, or you can come here to learn about all the great things Mexico has. I don't know how much, like that's why I say I wonder what Haiti, like Is Haiti so down bad because of all the shit
I
that's
mean, they're
happened to them?
currently going through some shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are they going through so much that like the tourism is only, it's like, hey, we only do tourism to just make sure that
We stay afloat.
shit's good, or is it like, hey, that's just another part of? Because that's how it feels in Mexico. I don't feel like they need tourism. It's just like
They definitely don't.
It's part of the allure.
Mexico big as shit.
Because it reminds me of tourism in Europe, actually. Because that's how, Paris is like, yeah, well, of course there's tourists every fucking where, but we don't. If none of you tourists were here, I'm sure we'd be fine too. Like, yes, we would have everything, but trust me, we
This is just Paris. This is just Paris, my nigga. We talking about France.
That's true. Yeah, I was talking about. We were having good vibes. We were talking about traveling.
For sure.
Do you think black people need to travel more?
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah, I see that a lot, and I always wonder, like you said, what does that mean? I think black people really, really should just enjoy their spaces more. Because I think if you enjoy your spaces more, then traveling becomes easier, in my opinion, because, like, people will learn from each other. Because that's ultimately what traveling is about, right?
I mean, anytime out of all the times I've traveled, you know me, Charles, like, I'm out. Like, I will walk the city. Like, I'm getting out, and I'll just be like, the niggas be like, hey, we need a bottle or something. Be like, I get on my phone, just be quiet as shit, and be like, liquor store, 0.5 miles. I can walk that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, all right, I'm out. And then it's usually my man tunes, shout out tunes, and we out, baby. We gonna walk the city, see what it is.
Yeah. No, that's what I think. I think if you're like, once again, like,
Cause I don't like being a tourist. Even when I went to Vegas, I was like, bro, I'm not about to be no tourist here. Like, I'm not going to all these fucking casinos. Like, I'm about to just walk and see what I like. I'm like, oh, that looks fun. I'm like, pull up.
Yeah, I really think that, like, if people are in tune with their people or their groups, then it'll make it easier. Because I think, like, people don't even, like, black people don't even know other black people. So, like, there's so many parts of, like we talk about Alabama, we talk about the deep rural South. Like, there's so many parts of that there's so much stuff to take from actually going there.
I mean, Alabama got some shit. Like, it's
I just think, like, if we as a people,
it's a NASA joint down there. So
that's what I'm saying. If people, like, for example, if Africans were more in tune of being in Africa, so like, all right, I'm gonna travel from Nigeria to Congo, or from Guinea to South Sudan. Like, I want
to go to Sudan too.
I think there's an inherent idea that
I got to hit East Africa.
Yeah, for sure. Ethiopia,
Sudan,
all that.
Ethiopia, Egypt.
I think there's an inherent idea that travel means not being around your people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people, when they say travel more, that's what they mean. They mean black people being around other people that aren't black. And I think that's the issue. Because if you think of it like that, like, even when we think of travel in the United States, we talk about going to places that, like, either are just popping, like, destinations to party, or, like, low-key aren't, like, the places that are kind of bubbling where we're from, right? Isn't that why we go to other places to, like, and a lot of those places be, like, either with a lot of majority black people or no black people. It's really, like, no in between, like.
Yeah.
Like, what are the sites in America? Like, shit like the, what's the shit with the president in the North Dakota or Idaho, whatever the fuck that shit is. Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like,
South Dakota.
wherever the fuck that is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have shit like that, I think, like, and those are kind of the sites and the scenes and things, and they're so, like...
Shout out to Crazy Horse, man. His joint is also in South Dakota. People should go pay to go look at his monument instead of the fucking Mount Rushmore. Because that's their land.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think when you think of it like that, it's kind of weird, but, like, all the kind of the sightseeing and shit that's sort of American is like...
You want to go see American shit?
It's not for people who
go see the
aren't
geisha.
white.
Go see the geisha or something. You know what I'm saying? This nigga. So you want to answer your Jones, bro?
Nasty word.
Definitely about that.
Yes, sir.
Well, this we are doing business, ladies and gentlemen. One more time.
They probably feel disrespected.
And I don't care. He trying to put his child to sleep anyway. He feels it.
A lot of nasty work going on, kids. I'm not a nasty worker though. Anything else on this travel binge? I like the travel binge. Is there any place that I just would never want to go to?
I'm stepping off on my birthday. If you would like to join me,
Where you going?
I haven't decided, but we got 6 months.
I feel like I'm gonna be in Ghana in December, so
I'm with that.
like those are the vibes right now. The vibes are if I had to do a play-by-play.
Hey, but December, my birthday December 10th though.
God willing,
Inshallah.
it's God willing, it's a few places in the States this summer. So Chicago, Summertime Shy. It's Summertime Shy. Yeah, I think they have a boat week coming up that I think I want to try to go to. I think it's Noya. And then I think it's Playa again in September. And then Ghana in December. I think that is if I can make those 4 things happen, and I know I'm gonna make at least one of I know Noya's happening for sure, but I know I can make one of the other 3 happen because I have a credit on United for a ticket already. So I just need to decide where I'm going. So that's chill. So the United ticket is good to go. So there's one trip that's good to go because there's a credit.
I would like to go to Nolia.
New Orleans is definitely like my top 3.
I would like to go. Before,
That's some pre-wedding shit.
I'm gonna say I would like to go.
That's why I'm going. So it's just like
I want to go before your wedding though. So it's just like
yeah, personally, I just really want to, like, if I could sneak Seattle in, like, within the next year, like, from today to the next year, if I could sneak Seattle in, that would be a major vibe. I feel as though Seattle needs me, and I need Seattle. Like,
interesting.
we need to be there for a little bit, and we need to experience each other's energy. Like,
That's how I've been feeling about New Orleans.
the city needs to feel me, and I need to feel it. Because I think there's something about being in certain places and certain times. I think there's something very true to that. Like, if you find yourself in a certain area of the world or a certain place, you'll be like, okay. My energy feels different. Like, feels good. It feels bad, or it feels whatever. Energy is a real thing.
tell me about it.
You've been feeling the energy or lack thereof?
Indeed.
Lack there?
Like there. Depends. It depends though. It varies.
Yeah, I mean, felt.
I don't want to unpack on you, Charles.
No, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, I seen you say you want to talk to a therapist, so that's good. Like, I feel as though, like, that's unpacking. Like, asking.
Oh yeah, you know.
That's unpacking.
Niggas
See, that's the thing about I feel like unpacking. I think sometimes people think you need to do all of the diving. I don't think you need to do. I think, like, making it known is enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think everybody has stages, so we all go through things in different ways. So some people need to, full out vent. Some people just need to be like, hey, hear me.
Yeah.
Some people need to be like, does anybody hear me? Like some people have been crying out, like, so I think it's levels and stages, but like, as long as you're doing it and it works for you, I'm happy.
That shit ain't work though.
You don't think it worked, or
No, I'm not saying like it didn't work. As in I attempted therapy and it
you
didn't work.
didn't find one?
Like trying to get one booked, she was
Yeah.
just like, you know what I'm saying, the time frame.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
You still got time though.
I do, but at the same time, just like, shorty, this is now.
Yeah, I know, and I definitely understand what you're saying, but like to find someone, because you don't want to find someone who's not.
And that's another thing that's blowing me, because I gotta go through and like find
that's
these
what I'm saying,
people,
but
and then I have to find the time to do the shit.
But
And
it's
then
process.
it's just like I'm here,
A
like
process, bro.
I'm here.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I think like that you.
I'm not mad at the process.
No, but I think that's what I'm saying. I think that the fact that you're willing to engage, that says something about like your mental for it. Your mental capacity to want to do this.
Yeah, niggas don't want to be a burden to their minds and shit.
I don't think anybody is a burden. I just think that everybody has things.
It's not how y'all feel, my nigga.
That's what I'm saying.
It's how I would feel coming off.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why when I say like, I get what you're saying. That
Because
like
I know for a fact that I can stand either the niggas that's involved right now and just and vent, but it's just at the same time.
It's on you, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Everything is personal, so I'm not you, so I can't tell you how you feel. But I do think there are things that we do as a group, or society that is reflective of certain things. So like if you say like, I don't want to feel like a burden, that's a personal thing, but that's a reflective of So I'm just saying like, don't while you. It's not what we think.
Charles, I know.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm very aware. Because it's just like, personally, niggas been going through endless.
Yeah, but like I would always also like this is also my little glass half for whatever.
I've also got a lot going, like that's gone positive. No, I was definitely gonna say that too. With all the bad that has come, and I'm not just talking about the breakup shit. You know what I'm saying?
Other
But
shit,
it's just like,
life shit.
brother, we'll talk off camera. But yeah, so yeah, minus all of that, like what Jay-Z say, minus the bullshit, life's great. I believe that was his bar. Yeah, I mean, like it is going well, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still just like,
yeah, it sucks, bro. Like
the people involved in what is going on mentally, and you know what I'm saying, is what sucks, because it's my niece and my nephew. So it's just like, that's totally different, you know what I'm saying, than trying to navigate that type shit. Because it's just like those are my kids. Like, even though they're not mine, you know what I'm saying, I definitely raised them, you know what I'm saying. So it's just like,
those are the vibes, bro.
for sure. It's just like,
Body practice.
that ass karate. I wouldn't just take, my nigga. I was participating. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all that, bro. Like, nephew took me down for the black belt test. All that, like, we was practicing all that shit. So it's just like, but he's good. Like, he's started doing all right. It's my niece and I'm just like worried about and trying to navigate that shit. And then like, not necessarily the similarities in thoughts, but the similarities in thoughts. Like, it's crazy. Morbid thoughts at that. Charles, did you ever tell you that I didn't think I was gonna live long?
I don't know, but that was why me and my computer best friends.
I'm very aware.
Thought we was gonna die at 26. So, like,
Yeah.
I think like morbid thoughts are actually very much so part of life. So it's just like we all live in.
But no, like recently it's just like been way more prominent, like that thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think those
especially since my man Trail died, because it's just like, that was a good nigga. But it's just like, it was like, you killing good niggas like that, like flat out killing niggas like that. And then that guy like brought shit back. I was just like, kill.
I mean, that was just.
I was really just saying one day, I was just like,
I mean, that was an interesting emotion
crazy.
because it's like it's a finality type of thing that like everyone I'm sure thinks about when no one wants to actually think about. So it's not like, I don't think like to think of death is a morbid thing in any sense. I don't even think to like think of harm is necessarily like weird or anything.
harm or self-harm?
Like I think like that's
just asking, because
because like even self-harm, like because people are like, yo, what if I just like crash this car? Like,
yeah, that's not wicked. That's a vicious thought.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, low key, I'm surprised people like anytime I'm like over a bridge, I'm like, yo, what if I just jumped off this bridge? Like, what would happen? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the idea of morbid in any sense, at least for me, is weird.
I just never had that though. I'd be more so just be like, this shit was over. Who gave a fuck?
Isn't that I don't think, me personally, I don't think that's as morbid as I think you're giving credit for. I think that's a very like a very human thought. Like,
yeah, but I'm also a nigga that battles with abandonment issues. So
yeah, but see, that's the difference between, I think, the abandonment of like that idea of having that issue and the idea of death in life, because while one is very unique to certain circumstances, the other one is unique to everybody.
for sure.
So we're all at some baseline, we're all sort of thinking about our relationship to death and what that means in some aspect. Now, does it get heightened if you do have a bed? I never thought of it like that, but maybe so. That's why you should talk to a therapist.
Exactly,
Far more
Charles.
licensed to speak on these issues. But no, I think but see, that's the thing. I think there's certain things that we can gauge once again as a society, as a group, and there are certain things that we can't gauge that are unique to us and our mental. So yeah, idea of death. Don't think that's morbid on any aspect, any level. What that means towards like you for feeling abandoned,
Oh no, I don't think. No,
or like how that plays in with abandonment issues. That's a
no,
I think
like,
that's a next
all
level.
right, so like when I get to like thinking about who would give a fuck, it's very specific. It's not like overall, because I already know like. If
Isn't that how it works?
I was to kick it, my nigga, that shit would probably be
but
lit.
aren't you thinking about that because your man died and you're thinking about him in a very certain way? So now it probably makes you reflect on who would do the same for me.
No,
Okay.
I ain't think about it like that because like everybody came off of that nigga. Like when they announced he died, like that motherfucking, I believe it was Kill Mo DC post or whatever. Like that joint was going crazy. So it was just like, and when they had the candlelight vigil, that joint was OC as well. So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, church, like that's what I'm saying. Like that was just a good nigga. But it's just like when it came to me, like I didn't think about it. I wasn't comparing the two at all because we stand two totally different human beings. He lived a totally different life. I lived a totally different life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and my death would definitely be different. Like my whole process, because it's like I'll be buried Islamically. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? There's things you gotta do sooner. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I was just like who would give a fuck? Because it's just like, it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ever since I reverted, it's family members I haven't talked to since I reverted. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and to this day, like, it's just people I haven't talked to since I reverted. And then, like, once they realize, it's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. But it's like, you know me from church or whatever. But it's just like, probably like, I've been on this journey since low key. I noticed that, like, on Monday when I texted the group chat, since I was a child, low key. You know what I'm saying? I've always been fascinated with it. So, but, like shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, it's totally different. And then when it gets to the Islamic community, it's just like, I don't know that many people in the Islamic community right now anyway, you know what I'm saying? Inshallah, it's widening, you know what I'm saying? And alhamdulillah, it's also widening. But it's just like, you know, like, it's just a lot been going on. And, you know what I'm saying? And like, that's why I was trying to get information on therapy, and that's why I hit up Taylor, you know what I'm saying? All that shit, because it was just like, bro, like, I'm happy. Like last year, it was just like, all right, I was just suffering, and I realized that I was just like, all right, bro, like you're not doing well. You're not acknowledging the fact that you're doing well. You're just gonna try to keep pushing through, and nothing you're doing is working. You know what I'm saying? And like that's just like where I'm at in life. Like I guess emotionally, but at the same time, it's just like now that the fact is just like I'm realizing shit. It's just like a whole bunch of other shit is coming as well. And then it's just like trying to practice patience emotionally and all this other shit. Or like accepting the fact that emotionally it's just like those ties are cut. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like navigating all of these other emotions and then like also not being able to talk to anyone about them. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's just like you consider the emotional side family when they're no longer family. And it's just like, it's family shit that I would like to talk about, even though like a couple months ago we were talking about family shit. But you know what I'm saying? That's another topic. But you know what I'm saying? So
You probably just go see a therapist.
exactly, Charles. That's what I'm saying. So like that's the main reason why I'm expressing this, because it's just like, bro, like you don't need to vent to your folks. Like dead ass go to therapy. Like
I mean, you can vent to. Once again, I think you can vent to whoever you
for
want to
sure, for sure. But
I
at the
just think
same
that,
time,
like,
it's just like when you navigating shit like this, it's just like, bro, go
that's
seek
what I'm saying.
professional help.
I would just argue that like people want different things.
But at the same time, life is good.
I don't think everyone said like life isn't good. Like life could be
No,
good.
but I'm saying like people probably like, wow, that's a lot. But it's just like there's so much going on
I
at
think
work.
things could be good when people can like go through. I would
Yeah.
just say this: people want different things. Like people actually want help, and some people just want
Distractions.
no. People just want to talk it out. People just
Okay.
want to be heard.
Yeah.
Some people actually want solutions to their problems, and that's why I think therapy works in different ways for different
sure.
people. So like, You could talk it out throughout. Like
bro.
people talk to their pastors. People talk to their
All that shit I did before didn't work.
mentors. That's what I'm saying. People
It didn't
people
work.
have different things. So like for therapy to be the thing, I don't think that's that should be the thing. But like we talked about earlier,
But the only reason I'm seeking therapy is because it's a mental thing. One of the issues is mental.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I just think the process is like you can't cut corners for it because
At
that's
all.
the thing. Like if you're going to just talk it out, you can talk it out to anybody. But the idea of therapy is that you're going to go the extra mile with somebody who understands this in sort of a different way. So I was like, you just have to lean into the whole process of what it means to like find a therapist.
Brother, trust me. I have. Even I said like the whole waiting period blew me, but that didn't like defer me at all. Cause it's just like, all right, like say less. Like I'll reach back out, or we can schedule and then hit me up in like 2 weeks so I don't forget and I can pencil it in.
Keep the fight going, my good brother.
You know me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a quitter. They say, yeah, I definitely don't. I'm not that cute word. Nah, that ass. Like. And another reason why I was just like, all right, cool, is just like the emotions I'm experiencing, I would like to deal with them this time. Because most times it's just like I had unhealthy coping mechanisms and habits, like I talked about on multiple podcasts previously. And it was just like, I'm good off that.
Once again, like as long as you know, that's all that matters. Like
Yeah.
as long as you are doing all of the self-identifying of the issues.
Charles, it's just like, only reason we're really having this conversation is because like I sent the text Monday, now it's Friday, and we didn't get to talk. So it's just like we're just having a conversation.
I'm not mad at any of the conversation. I'm just saying that like I think therapy. I think this is the idea of therapy because I've had this conversation with people that therapy is a very intimate thing. It's like when you have a physical doctor, like when you go to get a general checkup, it's really important that you're doing it for you and for you and yourself only.
And
Like
that you're honest with yourself and the doctor.
and the doctor. So like when you go to the doctor and he asks, "Are you having sex?" and you're like, "No." It's like,
bro.
that's what
I know you're lying.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like
No, you're
those are the
lying.
type of things that I'm always to be like cognizant of when people talk about it, because just to go do it and not to do it with sort of any intention or properly, for lack of better words, it's kind of like for what? Like if you were going to work out and you weren't lifting weights correctly, it would be kind of all for what? It would kind of be all null and void. So I'm just always very,
Fuck around, get hurt lifting weights incorrectly.
that's what I'm saying. And my thing about it is that like if you go into these things just like, oh yeah, and then you end up being like, yo, I came out more scarred than before. I was that good, like, you know what I'm saying, like. So like even that's what I'm just saying, like with the
Motherfuckers come out with ligament damage.
yeah, with the idea of a process, like if people get frustrated, they might just be like, yo, now I'm off of this whole thing as a whole. So I'm just like, just keeping all those things in mind. One's best for everybody. Good vibes.
I'm already up, Charles. That's your vibe. Good vibes.
As I said, good vibes. Life is about good vibes. Like I should have been a hippie for real. Like that's really my thing.
You should have been. You aren't. You wear bow shoes, but
I think you can't like define things of a certain era and new eras because they look so different. So like, what does being a hippie look like in this era? I don't know. Like
a hipster. Which
well,
is
see,
what?
that's what I'm saying. A hipster and a hippie are two different things. So
Technically, yeah.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know how you define that.
Or are they? With the technological age, they might be the same people.
Nah, I mean, I definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you can define something from another era.
I've never even met a real hipster before. I don't think personally.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but I feel as though I have met people
That are
who
of that
consider
ilk.
themselves,
Yeah.
who older people who have considered themselves of that era and of that time and of that being. I don't know if hipsters
There's
are
a
like
hippie lady in my job at my job building, and she's definitely of the flower child era. And
it's different. I would just argue that
touche.
people of that era, like,
Cause Shorty like 60, 70, and she still dyes her hair.
I think we consider people hipsters because we see something similar within the activity or the being, but it's
Hipster
not
is
that.
like pop music to me when it comes to
It's
titles.
like pop music to me.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
Interesting.
that's how I feel about like when people be like hipster. I'm like pop music. I'm like
Pop music just means pop.
popular, and hipster to me just means hip, like or fad.
It's an interesting thought process because popular music is definitely defined by certain things, and even people would argue that pop music in America has a very particular sound. It sounds like teeny bop. It sounds like Mickey Mouse. It sounds like very much so like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Charles,
Olivia
I understand it's
Rodrigo.
a 2000s party tomorrow, but can you?
I'm just saying
Can
that's
your
what
references
that's
come-
what pop.
Can your references get a little better?
Or even if you want to go back to like the Beach Boys or the what's the Hanson? Yeah, like I'm going 50. Like even the Beatles, like all of
Hanson.
that,
Who was
I
Hanson?
did.
Look like girls, Katie.
Yeah, it was three brothers. It was like an 18-year-old, a 13-year-old, like it was
They were
great.
the Jonas Brothers of like.
Yeah, the 90s.
Yeah.
I fuck with the 90s. The 90s was great.
I know Katie's mom had it going on.
Let's bring the 90s back, kids.
All that.
Stacy's mom.
Stacy's mom. Sorry.
Bowling Green. They're not gonna play real 2000s. They're only playing only hip hop hits, which is not bad. I'm not opposed, but I would love some Afro. I have a great Kelly Clarkson is my what you would call it? Is my karaoke song. Since You've Been Gone.
Wow.
Here's the thing. We started off friends.
Wait.
In the beginning, it was all pretend and yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Since you've been gone. Da, 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 da. Then the drums. I thought I'd never hear you say. Oh, that's my shit. I need the lyrics. I kill that shit. And since you've been gone, da, 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 I can't breathe for the first time. I love that shit. That's my shit. Kelly Clarkson, I love you. I love that you have a daytime TV show now too as well. You and Drew Barrymore. What a time to be alive.
I didn't know about Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore has a daytime TV show now. Daytime TV is
Is
some
that
of the
like local New York or?
no, that's everywhere. I say that here.
Oh, it's nationally?
Actually, you might be right. Might be local New York.
That's what I'm saying,
But-
bro.
I like that. She has a daytime TV show. It's popping.
I used to watch daytime TV.
I am so intrigued by daytime TV. I think it's one of the most fascinating things that society has to offer.
It really is.
Because think about what is
I'm
what
like, bro, who the fuck is watching this?
think
wild
about
ass
what is
shit?
programmed for daytime TV. Outside of the pandemic last year, daytime TV is for either degenerates, old people, or people literally the unemployed. Like literally, it's literally for a very subset of people. That's why Maury comes on at like 2 o'clock. Maury doesn't come on at 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. or like it comes on at
No
a time.
prime time hour.
You know, it comes on a time when you shouldn't really be watching this. And if you are, why the fuck are you?
Just, yeah, like if you're at home watching this, look within. Seriously.
I like Maury though, personally. I've had some great just life sessions to Maury. So
Have you, Charles?
yeah, I've learned a lot of things on Maury personally. Can't speak for others, but can't speak for myself.
Only thing I learned from more is to keep your dick in your pants.
Wow. And I think that might be where we have to end this episode. Keep your dick in your pants, guys.
It's alright.
That's all right. That's good advice. I think that coincides with good vibes. Keep your dick in your pants.
Good vibes.